Why am I up this early?
It's our fault.
We,
It's our fault.
secret government thing that I got you involved with because I'm definitely involved with the Men in Black, and I needed you for some assistance.
I figured this
You're
would be the
agent-
only time.
You're Agent A, I assume.
Yeah, exactly. Agent A or Agent P for Palpatine.
There you go. There you go. What are you reading right now, Alex?
Right now, that I am reading Champions of the Force, and it is just as wonderful as the first time I read it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I can't wait to reread that.
Oh yeah, I had a big meme for because I know that Noah and everyone hates it, so I did a whole little intro with Negan from The Walking Dead where I changed the words slightly, where his whole like monologue before he kills everybody at the end of season 6, and I changed it to Noah, and I was defending Kevin J. Anderson. It was a great little intro I did. So
Yeah, the only Kevin J. Anderson that everyone universally loves is Darksaber, which I do agree is his best. But
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of Kevin J. Anderson.
What about
Yeah.
Young Jedi Knights is pretty universally loved, I think.
That's
Oh,
true.
you're correct. You're correct on that. Yeah,
Mhm.
you're
That's the
correct.
other one.
Those are universally loved.
I think the reason that those are less griped on is because those are young adult novels. Which, if there's only one
True.
thing I can say is a genuine like thing against Kevin, is he writes very, to me, very basic. Like everything he writes to me comes off as like a young adult novel, even though the Jedi Academy trilogy is supposed to be like an adult novel.
funny.
It reads like a young adult novel to me, but I don't mind it, so I just have fun. But
That's interesting.
oh, it's
Hey.
Stevie, the one that's interviewing all of us. You need to interview Matt because he's the most
Stevie
important
B.
one
Yeah,
out of all of us.
absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
B stands for Batman.
Bingus, Batman.
Bingo. Welcome, fellas. I when the Young Jedi Knights came out, I had no idea the impact that it had on people. I called it one of the articles I was going to write for Sequart's book, A More Civilized Age, was called Young Jedi Knights: The Second Great Awakening, meaning that Timothy Zahn's trilogy got a lot of people into the EU, and of course it's the big one of the big introduction ones. But another big one is Young Jedi Knights. There's a lot of fans. They're about 10 years younger than me or something, and that was the book that introduced them to the Star Wars universe. But yeah,
Wow,
it's
you're
kinda crazy.
Papa Smurf. That's funny.
Bombastic. Hello, Papa Smurf is on the list.
That
Am I
means
Papa
you. Yeah, that's you.
Oh,
That's apparently you. Yes.
oh, okay.
You're on the list to get interviewed by him.
I gotta grow up my white beard, dye my face blue. Oh, there is another Skywalker.
Oof.
Young Jedi Knights. It was one of the first things I read after I started getting into the EU, and I was at the perfect age to read it. I was like 11 to 12, so it was so enjoyable because I was right at the age the characters were. So it felt like they were my friends. And do you know what I read directly after it?
Mm-mm.
New Jedi Order.
Oh no,
And then I got to see my friends grow up and die.
yeah.
So it was heartbreaking.
And I know what you mean by that, and that's true. People they kind of took center stage, which was awesome. One of the other things, a reason why I love Kip Duran is when he was a kid, I was the same age he was when I read those books.
Yeah.
And so I really connected to Kip. It was like
Kip
me
Duran's my favorite.
flying around with Han Solo and Chewbacca. And
Right.
then I have the Force. So now I get to join Luke's new academy and I'm the best ever. I mean, what kid wouldn't? That's every kid's dream. Every kid's dream at that time.
Yeah, Luke got thrown across the room when he tried to probe into his mind.
Yeah.
And that was unconsciously. So
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was great. It was great. I was like, yes. Because you cheered for Kip because he was your guy. And I felt he was the more real out of any Jedi because he was what I like to call him still a gray Jedi. He kind of walked that line.
Especially in New Jedi Order, we saw him,
yes,
disagreeing with Luke, and
Kip
doing
was
what
right
had to
every
be
time.
done. Yeah.
So
Yeah, he was.
Kip was never wrong. So
Yeah. Guys, for everyone joining, thank you. I didn't even think we'd have more than one, but Just because I got up early for some reason to
Secret
hang out with
government
these
stuff.
two, and I have a few extra minutes before the missus takes off for the day. She's going to be leaving soon, so it'll be a short one, but I figured I had the time. So while she is getting dressed and getting ready and having kids all climb over
It's
for the
6
next
a.m. for
30
me,
minutes
Cody.
or 20 minutes, I'm going to do this stream and then I'm going to be gone forever. Oh, I'm glad. I'm
As
glad
you
there's
should.
another
That's a based
Yeah,
opinion I have.
Young Jerry Night's like comfort food. Yeah. Yeah, about that. We had to wait a little while for Alex, but that's all right. It was a miscommunication.
It's
Oh,
okay.
missed
I
my
rushed.
call.
I scrambled, but I got up.
Yes.
Hurt my back a bit in the process, but I did it. I got up.
Well, it's
How
funny
did
because
you-
he had to get his makeup on, but then he didn't turn on his camera afterwards, which I didn't understand what the point was.
Matt or Alex, how did you manage to hurt your back joining a stream?
Oh, because I got out of bed really quick and I did something to it.
Oh
'Cause I'm
no!
old now. I turned 22 and my back failed me.
If 22 is old, oh boy.
Matt's ancient.
Yeah, I like when he goes, "I'm officially old" on his birthday.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm more than twice your age.
I've
Still.
lived 2 decades. It's crazy.
Still. Even next year, I'll be more than twice your age.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
still got a ways to catch up to half of my age.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a joke,
So,
but it's funny.
yeah. So yeah, that was good. But yeah, that was a good one. Another idea I had when I was writing my CCART story my essay ended up being on the Crucible, because I wanted to talk to Troy Denning about it. But the other one I think was, it couldn't be on comic books because if it was going to be on the Last Legacy series, the end of an era. But I wanted to do books because I felt books was more my forte. But I'll be honest, out of that CQuart trilogy, I think the comic book one was the best. I got the most information out of that one. So I probably should have gone comic books. I did get to talk to, was it Shelley Shapiro? Who was is that her name? I think that's her name. Who was in charge of the Del Rey back in the day? The chief editor. It's still early in the morning, so I can't remember her name, but I got to talk to her about, she was asking for topics, and I said, you should do one about, call it Killing Chewbacca, No Regrets. That's what the title should be. Like, why was the decision to kill Chewbacca the right decision? Because I believe it was. I don't hate Chewbacca. I didn't want him to die.
No.
But they had to start off with a bang and say, hey, look, this is not your mom and dad's, Bantam novel where everyone makes it safe at the end. We're going to make it serious. And they had to go big.
Yeah.
So as they say, killing the
family dog.
Killing the family dog was the way to go. It was the
You
right
really,
decision.
Matt, have you seen the Czech Republic's Heir to the Empire cover? Because Chewbacca really does look like the family dog on that cover.
Yeah, I would love to hear more about his Anzadi trilogy too.
Oh, it would have been fantastic.
There's some motivation there from Marcel for you, Alex.
Thank you. Yeah, I needed that to get me through the day, to realize it's all downhill from here. But
sure, sir, that's fine. That's fine. I mean,
yeah, he's been reviewing all the
interesting. It seems like you're interviewing all the interesting people first. Quality Autism, Brandon. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what I can add.
Everything
that they have. I mean, you got a salty German.
Yeah, nine. I hate
that. Soda drinking. Yeah.
Marcel was the second one. So.
And Marcel, that's correct. I forgot about Marcel. You got a nice little polite Canadian. You got a little bit of both worlds there.
He had a nice Canadian.
You got two polar opposites.
You're currently reading Darth Plagueis. What should you read next? If you like Sith, I'd go with the Darth Bane trilogy next.
Or Jedi Apprentice for a young adult series.
Or Jed Prince. He's being sarcastic, but I do love that series.
I love Jedi Prince too. I swear. I love it. It makes
Matt
me
and
laugh.
Chris left. Oh, we'll save Chris for last. Chris is like when you get Chris on your channel. Good morning. When you get Chris on your channel, there's no reason to have anyone else on. No one else is going to be that engaging or interesting. Man, his history of the EU fandom. Ooh.
Right. And now I'm
Ooh.
a part of that. I'm a part of the history of the EU because he mentioned me in the video, and I almost choked on my.
He did.
Alex
And
was throwing his books.
I asked him if he wanted to go back there and edit that out.
Oh, of course he did.
See, and
That
when
little
you have
blight on EU fandom.
when you have Chris
Oh,
when you have Chris Nelson on, you're always going to be prepared to learn something because he's going to teach you something you didn't know
Well-
about the EU.
he's gonna move his precious locks and then start like engaging with conversation. You're like, whoa, what the heck? This man has me memorized.
There's weeping and gnashing of teeth. Do you hear this? This stream is not going to last much longer. But let's see. No, he brought Dylan on, which was a smart choice. It was a really smart choice because Dylan's a numbers guy. They recalled so many things that I'd forgotten. And I know there's talk of them doing another one, like doing like what we missed, going over things that they missed. They said every time they ended one, they talk about the things they forgot to mention. And so I told Dylan they should totally do another one. Those are excellent. Those are excellent. Well,
Absolutely, and then an annual one every year to recap what happened each year going forward.
Even I can't do that. The daily rereads are coming to an end. This is the last month.
That's so sad.
Oh yeah, I've listened to each one twice. Hello there.
Hello there. Blasphemer.
Well, as a kid, I was right there at that age. I was hooked. I was like, oh, it had pictures. It was easy to read. The covers looked great. And I mean, you know, the funny thing was I had already read the Timothy Zahn book at this time. I was just starving for anything else, Star Wars. And that was the only other things I could find. And the covers looked awesome. So I got them. I read them. I was like, all right, you know, this takes place before Heir to the Empire. I was for it. And now I enjoy them for different reasons. Are they?
Who's for the dark side, Marcel? Sorry, there's a comment further down. I was gonna make a race joke. I was gonna say, "Am I the dark side?" Because
yeah, Chris is good.
My skin tone.
Yeah,
No more
yeah.
after this. Just rereading them in chronological order.
Next time you got to review it in like 10 years in like not in chronological order in
do release date,
publication order. No. I didn't want to do this one right off the bat. In fact, if I had to do it over again, I probably would have done a more in-depth RPG review, which I'll still do.
And what about episode by episode through the shows?
I know everyone wants that too, so probably so. That means I have to watch Filoni's Clone Wars again.
But then you'll know which ones you like and which you don't, right?
Exactly. Well, I mean, true.
It'll be like maybe 95-5, like percentage-wise on the dislike to like ratio.
Yeah.
Hi, I got this phone.
Hi, she's got a phone.
Wow.
What's your name? What's your name? Tell me your name.
My name is Meridian.
Well, her name's Meridian.
Oh.
Hello, Meridian.
Ask Alex, say, what do you do for work?
I do babu.
No, what does he do for work? Not you. You don't work.
I love food. I love food.
Have you read this to Miriam? Have you read Heir to the Empire? I just don't know what all you've read now. I mean, if you're going to start, it's kind of wild. If you're going to start with the Bantam books, I kind of think I would tell people Truce of Bakura
Cruise of Bakura, yeah.
now and kind of
I
go
think
through
that's
it
the
like
best place to
that.
start.
I kind of feel like I'd tell people to do that now,
Yeah.
especially since he's already read a few other ones.
Eh,
Well,
uh,
for me, I'm honestly Clone Wars was 50-50.
yeah.
A lot of the early seasons, like the first two seasons, I thought were all pretty good. Because they dealt with a lot with the clones and everything. But as the
Hmm.
series kept going, it may have been season 4 with Darth Maul. Anything after that, the season started getting worse and worse. I was like, oh my gosh, and just started getting more ridiculous. And
Some
I
of
hate
the
Ahsoka.
Hey, at least
I hate Ahsoka.
Ahsoka wore more clothes as the seasons went on. That's one positive.
Yeah, because Paleon told her to in No Prisoners.
Yeah, exactly. That's the canonical reason why she starts wearing more clothes.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, no, I love it. And so that's the other thing. I didn't mind No Prisoners and Wild
No
Space.
Prisoners is great.
No
I don't-
Prisoners is amazing.
I don't agree with Wild Space, but I think No Prisoners is a really solid novel.
Is
Wild
Wild
Space
Space
is
the one where Bail Organa? Hey.
Yeah,
Is that the one where Bail? No, I
Yeah.
love that because it forges a believable relationship between Bail Organa and Obi-Wan.
and we really didn't
Ah.
see that anywhere else, did we?
I
No,
know,
and I thought
but
we're good.
I just think that Karen Miller is an awful writer, and it feels like fan fiction when I read it, and especially when it happens to Siege and Gambit, it was even worse. Where
Oh my goodness, that was that. After reading those, I thought, well, maybe Siege and Gambit are good. No, they're still terrible. They're still a waste of time.
I
are.
thought Wild Space was good, but not as good as New Prisoners.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. I also don't like this whole like new Sith planet that's never been talked about ever, existing for the sake of Wild Space, and
Oh yeah.
and Obi-Wan gets this sickness or whatever that's never mentioned again, and or it's only ever mentioned in her books. But I don't know. It was just there's like maybe 20% of Bale and him actually like talking, and then the rest
In
of it is this
what?
boring. In Wild Space, is this boring
No,
like
I
adventure?
enjoyed that. I enjoyed their talks.
Oh,
I
that's-
enjoyed that adventure because they had to go through something like that to form their relationship. That remember, he hates politicians. He tells
Right, yeah,
Anakin that.
sure.
Well, then how are he and Bale such great friends?
Right, it's this story that
Even
made
though
me
Bale's a good guy, he doesn't like politicians. So I think it did a great job showing them go through a hard time together and come out as friends.
That's fair.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, you don't have to agree. I mean, you can disagree. That's fine. But that's why I liked it.
No, that makes sense. I agree that that's great that it did that. It just I don't know. A lot of it I just didn't care for. I did like the sections where they're talking, but I don't know. The adventure part I was not a fan of.
Honestly, all joking aside, my favorite book covers are probably the Jedi Prince books. I think they're just so well done.
It was pretty good. Yeah, don't say the Brian Wood comic covers,
No.
even though those are gorgeous. But we don't talk about Brian Wood.
Alphabet Squad. What is Alphabet Squadron?
It's a new canon book series.
Probably not.
Obviously,
With the
ruins
Dantooine. There you go.
Still don't know why that book got made.
Throne
Ru-
Trilogy, Bane Trilogy, Shatterpoint, Kenobi. Oh, you're reading the top ones there. I mean, you're reading some of the top quality here. So any suggestions we give you would probably be, oh, you know what? Labyrinth of Evil.
And I was gonna say, if you've read Kenobi and enjoyed it, Dark Lord: The Rise of Darth Vader would probably be
that's- yeah.
another good choice.
Oh yeah,
It's
that
a
one
solid
too.
one.
Read Labyrinth of Evil, Episode 3, and Rise of Darth Vader.
They're an
What's it
unofficial
called?
trilogy.
What's that called?
The Dark Lord trilogy.
The Dark Lord trilogy. Yeah, read those. Because I'll be honest, the Labyrinth of Evil reads like it should be a movie.
Yeah.
It does.
Oh, Oh yeah, Yoda Dark Rendezvous is
Oh,
really good too.
That's a great
Beautiful.
one. Yeah.
It's so good.
All right. Here, if you're gonna make phone calls, why don't you make them over there? Here, just go over there. Can you get my phone too? While you're at it. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Go phone home. ET there.
Oh,
All right. Yeah. So
right here.
thank you. She's on her cell phone right now. Who are you talking to? Oh boy. I said this is why we need Alex over here so he can take care of this.
I really liked Red Harvest. I know a
I
lot of
don't.
people don't, but I really enjoyed it.
I
it's
do
dumb
not.
fun.
However, Jim, I will officially take it off my top 10 worst.
No, it's not. It's
Did
nowhere
you-
near that bad.
It's nowhere near the worst. That is correct.
To me,
No.
it's dumb fun. If you just sit back and accept everything that's happening, you can have an enjoyable time.
I don't mind what's happening. I just that we're
Yeah.
supposed to care about Sith kids at a Sith academy. I just don't care about that.
I mean, the two things that stood out to me from that book was when I don't remember the context at all because it's been forever, but this one Sith guy, his friend becomes a zombie or whatever, and he slices off his head, and the zombie keeps like
Yeah,
biting down on
Throw-
his arm or something, and I thought that was funny.
He picks up his own head and throws it at
Yeah.
the other Sith, and it latches onto his arm and infects him.
That
Yeah.
was funny. And then the other one was the Whippet because he gave me Predator vibes, which I thought was really cool. The Whippet that
I-
ends up helping
I-
one of the
I
other
thought-
Sith girls.
There was a Nettie who was a Sith in it, and the Nettie are like Ood Banar from Tales of the Jedi and Trasov from Republic. They're like this tree species. There's a Sith librarian who's a Nettie, and I thought that was kind of a cool idea.
Hmm.
Only good games. They should all be up there. Ask around. I don't recall because I know I put a little announcement on the website whenever they came available. So check the website posts from what August, September, maybe September or something from last September. I think I may have put a direct link up to it. They're all there though. Longer review. I mean, my reviews right now for the novels and the reread are, I'm taking my time on them. They're like, they can be 12, 19 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, much longer. I tried to keep the first ones to a small, I wanted to keep them shorter. And I didn't want to do what's called a book review because everyone had done that. That's what the rereads are. They're more of a book review this time. Me just kind of running through the book, the scenes I like, the things I've noticed, the things I've forgotten about. Especially when I'm reading a trilogy of novels, I forget when things happen. I can't remember which one it was, but there was one that I totally thought book one was book two and book two was book one. And I was like, oh, wow.
I think that was Coruscant Nights.
Yeah, Coruscant Nights. I was like, oh, I thought this happened in book one. I was like, what? Oh, I thought this happened in book two. So, I mean, just so many things that I got mixed around in the trilogy, which is, you know, it's understandable, but, you know. I like Death Troopers more.
Yeah, I do. Death Troopers is great.
I slightly prefer Red Harvest, I would say, actually.
Well, I'll bring back the old intro when I have another Matt's Expanded Universe to do. I mean, maybe when I read Joe's stuff. I mean, I'm still not done with that one. In fact, I probably should have recorded one. There's something I listened to for the first time ever in a book, but and I should have done a Matt's Expanded Universe on it first because I'd never reread it. It was my first time, but because it wasn't a read, it was an audio. I decided not to do an episode on it. But yeah, whenever I find something like that, I'll still do a Matt's Expanded Universe. You like Red Harvest as well.
Will you
I like
review
him.
Will you review Supernatural Encounters as a Matt's Expanded Universe?
Sure, probably so. Yeah. Everyone likes the old intro. Yeah, it's funny because the guy that designed that had no idea how popular it'd be, and he still does music for me every once in a while. The last time he came over was 2 years ago. I can't remember what I needed. It was about 2 years ago. He came over with his keyboard, recorded it right there onto an MP3, and then he put an MP3 on it. I don't know what kind of keyboard this was, but it hooked up to the laptop where he edited it, and then took it, popped out his little what's it called, USB port, and then gave it to me, just like that, all in the space of an hour or whatnot. I was like, dang.
I also love those special intros when you were going on a work trip So you
Oh
went,
yeah,
finally, my
that's
wife's
a great
gone.
one.
We could talk about the EU, and then you got out of bed and went on a
Oh
drink.
yeah, that was a
Ferris Bueller's Day Off parody.
Yeah,
Ferris Bueller's Day Off one. Yeah.
that was great.
I'm a trainer, corporate trainer. That's what I do. But
So in a sense, a teacher.
yeah, in a sense, a teacher. But yeah, the reason I did that intro was because I was traveling too much. I was gone 6 months out of the year, and I was like, I can't. I'd come home real quick and do as many Max Expanded Universe as I could behind my shelf, and then I'd edit them while I was traveling. And I said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. So I just recorded where in Memphis, in Columbus, Ohio, in Phoenix, on top of a mountain. That was really neat.
Mhm.
I did some recordings for Twin Sons in the Grand Canyon,
Oh,
which was a lot of. I should have done a Max Expanded Universe in the Grand Canyon, but where else did I go? I don't know, but we were everywhere, and I just didn't have the time for that. But oh
Who's
yeah, the
gonna?
Vaughn one, just
yeah, that one is pretty eerie.
just that was just for the Vaughn. I wanted to do something special for New Jet Order.
Yeah.
So I did that one. It was a little long. Like I said, you could always fast forward through them. I remember at
No,
one time I
never.
took away the intro because I was like, well, people are getting old. They don't want to see the intro anymore. But then people were like, no, I want to see the intro. So we did a little bit more.
There's
And we're at time. We're at time.
uh,
We're at time, folks. Hey,
Oh.
thanks for joining me. Thanks for getting up early.
thanks for having us on.
Absolutely,
Right.
thank you.
Yeah, may do this again. Let me see. What's this? Oh, I don't sleep, and I do these in the morning. But see, this is why, Mitchell. Now my time on Earth is done. So anyway, everyone, thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you for
He has
my
a gun to
guest.
his head
Have a
right
great
now.
day. If you're off today, have a good day. If you want to do something, come over here and babysit for me. Great. Or just come play board games, or we can talk about Star Wars.